Everybody, thanks for joining me. My name is Brittany and I'm at Fairfax Pilates. We thanks so much for your feedback because you told us you want to see tower workouts. So here you go. Today's workout is going to be on the tower, which is the same as the Cadillac. No other props required. So go ahead and get yourselves ready to go and I will meet you right back here. All right, so welcome back. Let's begin here on the tower. So if you are working on a Cadillac, I'll give you a couple seconds extra to go from one side to the other, but everyone on the tower, it's all right here. So make sure your shoulder blocks are removed if you're using a convertible machine. I'm gonna start seated, placing your feet right up against the vertical frame, and we're gonna just grab onto the outside of our roll down bar. So my hands are wider than the clips. And let's just begin by engaging our lats. So how do we do that? Think of the pinky side edge of your palm doing the work, and we're gonna just simply press down on the exhale, and then float the arms up on the inhale. Now, I am not pushing all the way down. If I had to push all the way down, I couldn't do it with that muscle group. I would have to start to compromise my shape of my back and my shoulders. So I want you to just stay upright, nice posture, and just trigger the activation of those lats. Now my knees are a little bit soft as I'm warming up here, so I put less pressure on my hip flexors and my lower back, okay? Exhale, press, and then inhale, return. Now we're gonna keep just a slight amount of resistance on the bar, and we're gonna roll down onto our back. So curving the tail under and sequencing onto the back, nice and flat. Try to connect all the vertebrae to the mat, and we're gonna row 3, and exhale 2, and 1, then long arms, nod the head, and then round and return to seated. Quick break. I'm gonna just relocate the ponytail. Here we go again. So a little bit of pressure, resistance. Curve the tail under. Down we go. Flat. Oh, ladies, you know what that's like, right? We're gonna pull and exhale. 2 and 3. Good. Long arms. Tuck the chin and begin to flex forward until you find yourself seated. That ponytail or clip position really matters. Making sure that when you lay down, you're not laying on a funny ponytail. Okay, here we go again. Exhale, row. 2 and 3. Then long arms and round. So what are we doing here? Obviously mobilizing the spine, but mainly we are trying to limber up that lumbar section of our backs. Okay, once we get down flat this time, go ahead and do your 3 rows. And 3. Now we're going to do a little bit of extension. So think of lifting with your upper back, and we're going to hinge. I call it the Frankenstein. And we tuck, and we round down on that exhale, and then a little softness to the elbows. Arch the back as we come up. Exhale down, just fluid breathing. Inhale, we float. Now we're going to reverse it. So a little softness to the elbows. Think about lifting the sternum up toward top of tower, and we arch back. My shoulder blades make contact first, and then I melt and roll. Twice more. Inhale, up and back. And then exhale, rolling up to seated one more time. Float back, and then roll up. One hand in the center. All right, we're gonna start with a free hand underneath. I'm gonna lay all the way down onto my back flat, pulling the shoulder down where it belongs. My free arm sweeps above my head, and I'm gonna do a nice lateral stretch. And then right back up the way I came, changing hands at the top, rounding through my back, and then a nice side bend, and then all the way back up. We're not doing a full port de bras here. Just this is like a little lateral stretch warm up for some of the things we'll do later. And then up. Again, moving with your breath. I'm exhaling all the way down. Inhale, reach. And then exhale all the way up. I'm kind of doing like a 4 breath here. So just whatever you need. Reach. Now while I'm here, watch that the shoulder doesn't lift. So as I'm side bending, I'm pulling down. And then right back up. I think I've got one more on my right side here to even out. So let me do that. Even stretch. Feels so nice. And then all the way back up. All right, perfect. So from here, I'm going to go ahead and just sit up nice and tall. I am definitely bending my knees this time. I've got my little bit of pressure on my pinky, and now I'm going to push a little harder. So I'm going to press and release. Now my knees being bent like that allowed me to really lift up and use my lats more. Exhale, press and press. One more time, press and release. Now I'm going to curve and I'm going to stop and press and 2, 3, a little bit more, really tuck the butt under, press. As I start to roll back, I'm not able to get the bar down as low, and that is okay. I still feel it, tuck, press. Lot of abs here. A little deeper, and 1, and 2, 3, and then last time, this one's the worst, best/worst, hardest I mean, 2, one more time, and then down we go. Quick break, and we're going to do that on our way back up. Head, neck, and tops of shoulders rise. 1, exhale, 2, 3, lift, 1, pull your waistline in here, 3. This is when you really want to stick your tummy out to help pull it in, and 1, 2, 3, a little higher, 1, 2, 3, and all the way up. Go ahead and straddle and just lean forward here a little bit. Stretch out inner thighs. And go ahead, come back up. We're going to use the leg springs. So if your leg springs are not attached, go ahead and put those on now. They are the long, thicker springs, green stripe at the top with a leg loop on, not the arm springs, which have the handles and the yellow springs. So I'm on a V2 max, which means that my clips slide. The higher up they're going to go for leg work, it's going to be more challenging for the hamstrings. So I usually don't go any lower than 10, but today I'm at 7.5. Okay, so depending on how much work you'd like to do, choose the level accordingly. So lay on your backs. You want to space yourselves out about an arm's distance from the vertical frame. And then your feet are in the straps. All right, now, if it is too heavy, just bring those down. Your hands can be on the vertical frame. Notice that if you're going to put the hands here, they need to be higher than your head, not down here lying flat. So if you're going to hold on, hold on. Keep your abs on, and we're going to press down and then float up. Now my legs are pointed at the toe and also together. Inhale up, exhale down. Now as an instructor, what I watch for is back arching. As the legs go down, I tend to see people really arching through their ribs. So imagine you're laying on sticky paper and really concentrate on forcing those lowest ribs through the mat towards the ground. Now laterally rotate, press and lift. Exhale, press. Obviously the legs are getting the workout here, but try to focus on what's not moving. That's Pilates, right? What is stable? So in this instance, it's my entire trunk is trying to connect and wrap in tightly so that there's no air under here, okay? And there's no popping or moving around in the rib cage. Next time the legs are forward on a diagonal, we're gonna pause, bend the knees in, point, push them away. Breathe in, breathe out, and press. So if you have any shoulder stuff and you don't want to hold on, you're welcome to put your arms down here. If you start sliding, however, you're going to need to put your hands back on the frame. And exhale. So the heels can stay together, or you can separate the heels about an inch and see if they can stay that inch apart as they travel in and out in a synchronized fashion. I think that feet slightly separated is more inner thigh work. That's just me. If you wanted to use props, you could certainly put a ball or a ring between the feet here. Next time we go out, we're gonna pause and then add 3 beats. So open, close, 2, 3, bend the knees. Exhale, push, 1, 2, 3. Bend, push, it's a sip of air, and then 1, 2, 3 on that exhale. Bend in and press. 1, 2, 3. Now our beats don't actually connect at the heels. They're just closing quickly, but not fully. So the legs never actually touch. And press. And 1, 2, 3. One more time. And 1, 2, 3. We're going to go into stag. So one leg bends, one doesn't. And they push back, touch, and then they change sides. So if you're familiar with this exercise on the reformer, it's easier to get here on the tower. If this is the first time you're doing this stag, it can be a little funny since we have 2 independent springs, but make sure they both have resistance as they're coming in. The one leg is bending, crisscross Indian style here. The other leg is long and straight. What are we doing? The leg that is straight, obviously inner thigh. The one that is bent is getting that lateral rotator at the hip joint. So here I'm bending my knee out wide, and then this time straight, and then together. Let's get an even number on each of the sides, and then we'll stay. Now we turn this guy into frog. So laterally rotate the legs. Up to vertical, bend the knees. From here, the legs open wide to the sides, and then connect. So I find it easiest here to keep my heels together. So as I bend down, I'm in a little froggy position. Then I open out, point the toes, circle closed. Lift, down, out, and around. Now we're going to reverse this. So open the legs wide, they're pointed. Now you can bend and connect the heels, and then they go straight up. True frog would be bring them in at a pointy toe, and then they go up to the heel and down. Sometimes that gets a little funny, so it's easiest sometimes to simply bring the heels together, up and down. Final, wide, either heels or toes, up and down. Okay, little break on the legs with the tabletop. We're going to go out into parallel for some shuffles. Send the legs out long. We want to start in a diagonal. This is our starting position. So the legs are trying to maintain that the springs are roughly parallel to the floor. Back is connected, and I'm going to just shuffle. So this is another thing that I look for as a teacher. When people start to shuffle, everything starts to move. So think of the upper body, everything in your shirt being a statue. And then everything else is very controlled. Kick, 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 kick. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend the knees. Now we're going to do a turnout. So the heels are in, the toes are wide. Push the legs out into a point. Over, under, over, under. So these are also quick and controlled. I don't like to hear a lot of noise on the springs. That indicates lack of control. So really just, it's a whisper amount of movement here in the everything on the tower. 10 and 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bend the knees in. Let's go ahead and take our feet out of the straps. Grab the knees in and rock yourselves up. Okay? So from here, let's go ahead and do some side lying stuff. So you're going to use the spring in the front. Go ahead and get yourselves onto your side. Now, you can certainly just extend your bottom arm, push it up against the forward post, and let your head rest. If you'd prefer to put a block or some kind of pad under the head, you can do that instead, especially if you don't want that arm extended. Take the top foot and let's put it into the strap. Again, an arm's distance. Whether or not you're keeping the arm here, go ahead and measure yourself an arm's distance. Now, the bottom leg in a perfect world is straight, shoulders over shoulders, ribs stacked, as are the hips, hand rest on the waist. If this is unstable, soften the bottom knee, don't put the hand down. So, however you need to do this, okay? Lift the leg up. I'm not going super high, I'm staying in neutral, and I'm gonna press down. Point, and then exhale, press. Watch here that there's not this give, and look here where I just let it take it up. It's a control. We control up, we control down. Lift and lower. Inhale and exhale. 5 and 4, 3, 2, and 1 more. We're going to pause here at about hip height. I'm going to dorsiflex my foot and begin drawing plate-sized circles. They don't have to be hula hoops, and I don't want them to be cup-sized or quarters. Let's keep them about the size of a dinner plate. And we're going to reverse. Now, if your hand is resting here on your waist, you should feel there's some tightening here in the obliques, as are the bottom side obliques. That's where we want to have the work. It's sort of this sneaky little way of getting into the obliques. Now, we're going to pause here. This is where you possibly need to bend the bottom knee for stability. We're going to allow the top leg to travel forward at hip height. Point it, and then bring it back. Now, I've gone behind the line of the body, but only so much that my back didn't change. Leg travels front, and then exhale, it's back. Inhale and exhale. Lower side oblique, really working, especially as the leg goes forward and back. Let go forward, and then as it comes back, we're squeezing into the booty. Leg goes forward, back. Now, circles, big ones, forward, up and around. Inhale to the front, exhale back and around. Only so big as it doesn't change your shirt. So if you have to be moving around here to get the leg, it's too big. Keep it under control. One more time. And we're going to reverse it. Up and back. Up and back. For 3 and 2 and 1 more time here. Now, I like to take both hands onto the same side of the bar. The legs are together. Now, regular challenge would be feet together. If you're an overachiever, you can become a merman or merwoman. Heels together, toes apart like a long tail. And lift and lower. Notice how much more difficult that becomes on that adductor and also the oblique. 4, 3, 2, 1. Let the bottom leg bend and rest. The top leg can just drape down towards the floor, and I love to throw in a twist here. All right, and then you can just slip that foot out, and then obviously we're going to do the other side. So let me move my mic, and then here we go. Arms distance from the bar, top leg in the strap. We're going to keep our shoulders, ribs, and hips stacked. We lift and lower. And so making sure that your shoulders, your ribs, and your hips remain stacked on top of one another. Point the foot up, flex it going down. Hand rests on the waist here if you can stand that. If you have to put your hand down, do it, but try not to. We're going to hold it here, and then let's do plate-sized circles. Now you can do any sized circles that you like. Make sure that the hip doesn't rock around, though. That is the challenge, is to maintain control. Lots of ways to do this one, but I like to do plate-sized circles. And that's what we'll do today. Now let's keep the leg hip height, and it's going to go to the front and then back. Again, I'm only going just, 3-4 inches or so behind the line of my body. I'm probably still within the, oh yeah, for sure. I'm definitely within the mat behind me. Now, if you have a dance background, you might be able to get a lot of extension in this hip, but don't allow it to arch your lower back, please. And then we're going to take it up and around, up and around, to the front and back, to the front and back. And then we're going to put that into reverse. Leg goes up, stop at hip height, backward and back. 3, twice more. 4 and 5. Now both hands on the frame, heels together, lift and lift. Now if one of the waist of yours is weaker than the other, this will point it out. You'll notice a huge difference in strength and ability with this exercise. All right, and then let the knee bend. Go ahead and allow that leg to drape down passively and enjoy a nice spine twist. Oh, I just enjoyed some nice pops down my back. Always such a treat. And then you can just take your foot right out. All right, let's shift gears here a bit, and we're going to work on some upper body. We're going to remove the leg springs and switch places with the arm springs. Okay, so difference here, big, thick, long green spring for legs, short, thin hand spring with the yellow stripe at the top. So bring those arm springs to the front. All right, once you have put your arm springs in place, we're going to stay on the knees. Now, if you don't enjoy being on your knees, you can get a box and you can sit. Okay, it's going to change where you need to be if you are sitting rather than kneeling, though, because the balance becomes an issue. So I'm going to have my body, my knees are almost at the seam of the two mats. And let's keep your body nice and tall, posture perfect. Your abs are in, and I've got a little bit of a tail tuck. I don't want to stick my butt out here, which I see a lot. So curve it under, palms are forward, and I'm going up and then down. Now I have my toes tucked under, because that feels better on my knees. Okay, if you prefer to have your shoelace side down, go for it. Okay, but for me, my knees like that. Okay, exhale and then inhale. 4, and I only need to go up about shoulder height. 2, 3, and 4. Now, palms facing in, open out about chest width, and then chest width. That's not what I meant. What I meant is how wide they are, not back here, right? So level with the shoulders and chest, and then in front. Open and in. Another way to think about it is, where can I keep my hands in my peripheral view? So once my arms are back here, That's good. Anymore, I can't see them, so that's too far. We want to keep the shoulder blades from retracting together. So let's keep them in neutral. Inhale and exhale. 2 more. And from here, bend and press. So these are chest presses, punches, sort of something here. And 4, 3, 2, and final. Lift right into triceps. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it all the way back in. Turn around. We're going to keep the handsprings here, arm springs, and go ahead and sit. This time my legs are going to be together right in the center. Hands are together, knuckles together right in the center of the chest. Curve the spine as you roll backwards. Lengthen those legs, pointing the toes. Turn, turn, turn. And sip of air in the middle. Exhale, twist, twist. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back up. Flat back biceps. Tip back. And curl. 2, 3, 4, and 4, 3, and last. Sit all the way up. All right, let's make another change here. We're going to put our, so an easy thing I like to do is just to take this roll down bar, tuck it in the back. One of the springs must come off. So I just remove that and clip it to the eye hook in the back. We're going to replace it with one of the blue springs that lives on the outside. We're going to connect it to the top and then to our push through bar. One side only, and it doesn't matter which side. So from here, we're going to go through some push through with feet. Let's put the bar down, and we're going to put the arches of our foot on the bar and then lay down. An ideal starting position is when the bar is housed between the vertical frame. It likes to live there, not here. Okay? So when the legs are straight and you're on the arches, the bar should be between the vertical frame. Arms pressed down. Bend the knees, the legs go up, and then the rest of you follow. So we're up here. Watch that you're not so high that you're on the neck. Drop it down so that the shoulder blades are resting on the mat. Pressing down through the arms, and then just melt. Top to tail. Butt touches, knees bend. Press straight. In and up, and we follow with the tail. You don't have to go so high that you feel an over amount of pressing through the lower back. Most important is this awareness in the shoulders and the neck. And then coming down, bend and push. Now we're going to add on. So once we get to the top, we're going to stay up there, and then one leg off, tap. Other leg off, and tap. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Third time each leg. 2 feet on, roll down, bend the knees, and press. Some people's knees don't love that. If you are one of those people, when you are up here, little softness of the knees is absolutely fine. All right, so sometimes those of you who hyperextend in the joint, that hurts, right? So just be careful. One leg off. Now, we're gonna bend 1, 2, 3, leg goes to straight, twice more. 1, 2, 3, and again. 1, 2, 3, 2 feet. Switch. 1, 2, 3, push to straight. 1, 2, hamstrings. 1, 2, 3, 2 feet on, down we go. Don't worry, we're going to do that one more time so you have a chance to do that one again. Here we go. All the way up. And we bend 1, 2, 3, straight. 1, 2, 3, and final. 1, 2, 3, 2 feet. Switch. 1, exhale, 2, 3, straight. 1, 2, 3, and again. 1, 2, 3, 2 feet. Down we go. Bend the knees, press. Oh, nice roll up here. All the way up. Put your hands on the bar with the feet and fold. Go ahead and tuck. I'm going to scoot back here. I scooted a little bit forward. And then I'm going to bend. And this stretches your lower back right here. So my weight is in my lower back. And then if you would like, reverse monkey right here. Now I like to wiggle my toes around so I can really drop my heels. Pushing those heels up through the ceiling. Point and flex, point and flex. Now you can come down from here, just taking your legs down, or you can try bending and coming back out. Now notice when I finished, my bar is on the other side of that frame. So if you scoot back, you can get out of that reverse monkey easier, okay? So when I come up here, nice stretch. And then, whoo, then I can come down. See, it's hard for me too. All right, take those feet off, put them right onto the vertical frame. One hand is going to come off, and I'm going to do this really nice stretch. And then come around. And push. I'm leaning forward. And we'll do that again. Stretch, just 2 on each side. And then around. So it's not so much about my pushing really hard. I'm leaning forward. I'm trying to reach my opposite hand for the frame. And I'm pressing. And then return. So, here we go. Other hand. And then as I go forward, I'm leaning my full trunk forward. Get a nice pull all across the back. One more. All the way back. And then around. All right, let's end with a little bit of back extensions. So I'm going to place the bar through the vertical frame here and lay prone. Now, if you don't like to use the bar, if this is uncomfortable for your shoulders, then do it without the bar. Let the bar go up. So laterally rotate here. I'm going to keep my hips and my pubic bone down, so my full pelvis is neutral. Shoulders glide down. And then we lift and lower. Rise on the inhale and exhale to lower down. Lift and lower. Now, if you like, I'm going to put one hand in the center and I'm going to reach back and grab my foot. Now, this might be plenty. I'm driving my hip through the mat here to open this right hip flexor. You can also press into that bar and add a little bit of back extension with my leg. And then lower. One more time. And down, we're going to switch. Now, absolutely not necessary for you to add that extension if you don't want to. So if you want to simply let your head rest or just stay neutral and drive the hip down, fine. If you want more, you can lift, but not if it goes into your lower back. One more. And lower. Release the leg. The bar go to the top. Bend the knees. side to side with the legs to shake out that lumbar spine. And then press back into a little shell stretch. I love to tuck the toes under so that when I push back, it stretches the fascia in my feet as well. And that concludes our tower workout for today. So hopefully that was a well-rounded workout for all of you. You enjoyed that with me, and I look forward to doing it again next time.